And good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1416. Happy Thursday. It is a thirsty Thursday. What is going on? Hope you're doing well. Just a few more days. I'm glad it's only Thursday. I'm glad it's not Friday. I've still got a lot of shit. I shipped, bought yesterday. Shipped and bought. So I still have some more shipping. We have eBay auctions ending tonight. Last round of auctions for the week ending tonight at 99centcards.com. All autographs ending tonight. All 99-cent starting bids. Check out the auctions ending tonight at 99centcards.com. Over in the Buy It Now section, buy 7 or more items at regular price. You will save 25% off at checkout over at 99centcards.com. So I'm glad it's only Thursday because I leave for 8 days on Tuesday for spring training, and I've almost got all of my cards ready for autographs. That's number one. Actually, the first thing I take care of is the flight. Then I take care of the hotel, and then priority number 3 is cards for autographs. And so I am just about through getting those in the books. And then I've got my extras that I'll alphabetize. I've got Cubs for Kids in one of those boxes behind me, that top box right there. So stop by if you're out in Arizona for spring training. I'll be there March 4th, Club 400 tailgate tent outside of Sloan Park, and pick up a pack of Cubs cards for kids. And then all the other stuff. And then I've got to get, I did get my Turo, my car rental. There was what I love about Turo is you can rent like luxury cars for like cheap. And like I could probably save a couple $100 by just taking Ubers everywhere, because I literally walk all across Sloan. Like, I don't really go to other games. However, there's a couple instances where, it does come in handy. Like, when I get there, I want to go straight to the minor league backfields, and there's a day game when I get there. So, instead of going to the hotel, and I get there first thing in the morning, so I'd have to like check my bags. I can't check into my room yet because it's at like 9 a.m. when I get there. So I go straight to the backfields. Well, I don't want to. If I rented Ubers the whole time, I would have to rent an Uber to the hotel. I would have to have the hotel keep my bags until I could check in later in the day. Then I'd have to walk all the way across, and that eats up. I mean, that's going to eat up an hour of my time on the backfields. Although I am actually, now that I think of it, I am going to have to do that when I get in, because it's a home game. I am going to have to drive to the hotel and drop off my bags and then walk over there. So I guess that's a moot point. This year, that's a moot point. Last year, previous years, it's been either an off day or an away game. So this is the first time I'm landing on a day game, an afternoon day game. And then there's like usually Mondays, the whole team is off. And so I have I'm just piddling around. That's like the only day that I have that I choose to go do other things. What are my other things that I zip around Phoenix? I go to card shops. Last year, I think I stopped at like 4 or 5 card shops. I went to a couple of Walmarts and Targets just to find wax. So that's, you can't take it's like renting an Uber the entire day. I'd have to rent a car for like a day, and so it probably is all a wash. So I rent a car. What I like about Turo is I can rent like exotic luxury car, and not really exotic, but luxury cars. And so I've rented, I think the first year I rented a Mercedes, a couple BMWs, usually a BMW. One year rental cars were crazy insane. It was probably right after COVID. And I rented a Hyundai Elantra. And it was a piece of shit. Just and not because I was used to renting Mercedes and BMWs, but it was just I literally had to get like I landed that, and that was the only year that I landed at night. And so it's dark as I'm driving to the hotel, and I didn't think I turned the headlights on. I had to literally exit off the interstate, pull into like a bank parking lot, and check my headlights because I didn't think the headlights were working. So not going to rent any Hyundai Elantras again. Fortunately, prices went back down. So there was a Jaguar, that I should have rented it like when I saw it a month ago, and I'm like, I'll get around to it. So the Jaguar was is still available, with the exception of like the weekend that between my the one weekend, because I fly in Tuesday, get back on Wednesday. So the one weekend it's rented those 2 days. So I can't rent it for the whole stay. It was like $49 a day before all the fees they add on. So would have been about $60. I think I ended up renting a BMW. And I think it was right around the same price as the Jag. They're like $49. I think, what did I pay? I can tell you after tax and everything and the fees, I'm paying about $75 a day, which it's a little pricey, but it is what it is. So there's not much. Honestly, the only cheaper options are like Kia, like little, like small, like I don't even think I could fit my luggage in some of the other cheaper cars. There's like some Hyundai Elantras. Nothing against Hyundai Elantras, but the one experience I had was a poor experience. So that's why I'm shitting on the Hyundai Elantra. So I drive a Ford Edge, so I'm not raising my nose at Hyundais. So yeah, looking forward to next week. So I've got and I just rented my car a couple days ago. So yeah, that's coming up on first thing Tuesday morning. So I will go live from my hotel room. I try to do it twice, but I don't know. I think I did live one time. Maybe I did it twice last year. I can't remember, but I'll go live, and it just might be whenever. Of course, it's going to be Arizona time, which I think are they 2 hours? I think they're 2 hours ahead. Wait, no. We're not. We haven't hit daylight savings. They're only 1 hour behind, and this is my confusing time because Arizona does not honor daylight savings, and I don't blame them. So right now they're an hour behind, but when daylight savings hits, they're 2 hours behind. Is that right? Spring forward, and they just stay the same. So yeah. So looking forward to my trip. What else? And game tickets. I get game tickets like the day of, and I do Berm. We've got a smaller Club 400 group that I think some of them are going to do the rooftop. I did the rooftop one year, and it's a waste of money. They jack up the price, and there's no like benefit. In fact, it takes longer to get a beer. I went down to the regular field to get a beer because the lines were that long where you're getting upcharged on the quote rooftop. So I will be abstaining from the rooftop. I'll be hanging out on the berm. And the berm is the best. The berm is the way to go. So I get tickets. Usually I get tickets like 5 minutes before the game starts. Like I'll just go on to StubHub or MLB unless I want like a front row behind home plate, which I don't really have any because what I end up doing is I sit there for like the first 2 or 3 innings, and then I just walk around the whole day, the whole game. So looking forward to my spring training trip. Hey, I bought some cards yesterday. And I talked about this the other day that I was going to be looking at some cards, probably buying some cards from my buddy Steve. And he asked me, and I showed the blog of all of the cards from his Craigslist. So he sold off his entire collection from like his childhood and into early adulthood. And then had like some seller's regret. And we talked about it again last night. And I'm like, I wish you would have told me. He's like, but at the time, he's like, I just wanted it all gone. He's like, so at the time, I didn't care. But then after I saw you selling some of the stuff, it's like, oh man. And I'm like, anyway. So we've actually done several deals since because shortly after he got back into it, I think it took a couple of years. Because I had reached out to him and said, hey, if you come across anything else, because he did tell me he kept some of his vintage stuff. He did keep some stuff. And he was going to like collect, he's a Cubs fan. He's going to collect like Ernie Banks and stuff. So I'd reached out and it was right in the heart of COVID. It was like right smack dab in COVID. He's like, hey, I ended up buying some collections. Do you want what I don't want? And so it was bulk and a lot of it was junk wax, but there was some good stuff in there too. We did that deal, I think, and we've done a few deals since. I see him at most Madison card shows. He comes in and buys. So he came over and had some bulk, and it's a lot of what I already have, which is not something that I'm really, if it comes to me and I can get a decent price, I'll buy it. So I get asked all the time, what's a good price on a bulk buy? So we're going to talk about that today. And I can't answer that. I can tell you how I handle it, but you will handle it differently because we all have different buyers. We all have different, streams of where we sell, how we sell, who we sell to. So it's going to vary, but maybe how I handle my bulk buys will help somebody out there listening. So we'll talk about that. So we were talking about, he's like, so what was the biggest thing that you sold out of my collection? And I'm like, really? There wasn't one big thing. I think the biggest sale from that Craigslist buy from Steve was the TCMA Great Set, which ended up selling for like, I think I took an offer of like $215. I think was what the sale price was on that. But that was in like it was about a year later though, because it sat on my shelf because I didn't know what to do with it. And I finally, I'm going to sell this and realize, oh shit, this is $200. Like one had sold for like a set had sold for like 250. So I put mine up for 250 or best offer. Somebody sent me like a 215 offer. I'm like, that's strong. This is already way more than I thought it was worth. I'll take it. So, and I told him the Ron Guidry poster, which sold for like 125. That was a surprise, but a lot of it was like just small stuff. Now he has regrets, of selling it all. And I have regrets for selling it too early. This was pre-COVID, and I also have regrets selling a lot of it at auction. I have 4,800 plus followers to my eBay store. Certainly didn't have that back in 2018. So running auctions, I was 72, 73 Topps Wilt Chamberlain in pretty good condition. And I know pretty good is not I would say it was VG to EX. No creases, no dinged corners. It might have been off center. And maybe a soft corner or two. Sold for $5 at auction. And even then I knew I should have just listed this as a buy it now. I listed a lot of stuff, a lot of that vintage stuff at auction, and it just sold for pennies on the dollar. That's why I hated auctions and still do hate auctions in certain circumstances to this day, even though I run auctions. But there's the gift that keeps on giving. I still have the shoebox of 1976 Fleer NFL stickers that have been in my eBay store since 2018. And I still sell, I don't know. I wonder if I can see. Actually, I just shipped one out, I think yesterday. Listings. How can I do? Oh, we can do all orders. So I want to see, so last 90 is default. Let's just do last 90. So last 90 days. So the last 3 months, 1976 Fleer. 17. Oh, wait, that might be, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. That was an order of 10. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I've sold 28 in the last 90 days. So that's what? That's about 3 a month. And they sell for about $2.50. So, and I mean, these long been paid for. So this is just like easy money at this point. And I still have probably 1,000 of those stickers still in that shoebox. And I was going to sell them in bulk. And I think the price I had in bulk was like 15 to 20 cents per. And I'm glad they didn't take the offer up because, I still, I'll make that back up in, whatever. What did I say? 28. So 28. Oh, got more requests coming in times 250. So gross, that's in the last 3 months, $70 in gross sales. So you're looking at like in 5 months, I make that back in gross. Now that's not net, but I'll make it back and it's already paid for. So it's just inventory. And it seems like at the end of the 30-day cycle, it comes up to the forefront, people buy it. So that's probably been just that shoebox has created a lot of revenue just from longevity. Now it's taken, 7 years to sell how much ever I've sold of it. But so yeah. So he brought over, I did buy it, by the way. I did buy the bulk. And I think I tried to do, there were in multiple boxes, which is hard for me with my ADHD, undiagnosed, self-diagnosed. It's hard for me to eyeball it and like have a conversation. I can chew gum and walk at the same time, but I can't count and talk at the same time. So I was trying to do the math and it's like, okay, this price divided by approximately this many cards. Okay. So, and that's kind of the first step in how I know what a good bulk buy is. So let's go to the chat and we'll talk about how I know what a good bulk buy is. And maybe it'll help you. By the way, before we get to the chat, I had a request open earlier this morning. Another one just popped up. New request item hasn't arrived. Let's see. If any of this is marked delivered, I'm not even going to issue the refund. I'm just going to put the track. It says delivered. It says it was delivered on Monday. So I'm just going to put the tracking in and let eBay decide because it's already Thursday. This actually might be, I prepared some batches to upload to Car Dealer or to upload to eBay from Car Dealer Pro while I'm at spring training next week. It might be just one night I spend filling out PIP claims because it doesn't look like I'm going to have time this week. Although I still have a few days before I leave, but a lot of shipping still to do. Gem City Card Show's in the house. Good morning. I'm ready for the equation on bulk buys. Well, fortunately for everybody but Brian, there are no equations. There is no math. Well, maybe some simple math, but no equations are involved in the production of this show. Mr. Archer, good morning. David's in the house. What's happening? Todd is here. Good morning. Holmes in the house. What's going on? Reading through the old 1 Million Cubs blog and really enjoying. Oh, I need to check my messages. I'm sorry. I will check my messages today. Yeah, I go back and it's like, man, I wish I wouldn't have quit blog. And I quit blogging probably during COVID. I go back and of course there's some really outdated content on there about like PayPal micropayments. Whoa, that's pretty outdated. Orlando is here. What's going on? Good morning. Red Light in the house. Good morning. Cooter's here. Good morning. Mark's here. Good morning. Get to listen while at the doctor. Ooh, not good. Hopefully it's just your annual checkup. Kyle is here. Good morning. Bulk buys have built my collection greatly. Bought a NASCAR card lot for a penny a card yesterday. Lots of $2 to $3 in there for my eBay store. There you go. And that's kind of that's a number that I aim for. A penny a card is typically what I aim for. In fact, usually on blind buys, now I'm a little pickier now because I have way too much stuff. So I'm a little pickier at what I buy. But a penny a card is kind of, I had a dealer on Saturday at the Madison Card Show, and he said, and he, I think last month he brought it up also. And he's like, hey, I've got these like 4 and 5 row boxes. He's like, they're base. He's like LeBron and Jordan and Kobe. Like there's none of that in there, but there's still going to be some stars and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, honestly, he's like, I don't even know. I've never sold bulk. And I'm like, he's like, you're not going to offend me with any number. I'm like, okay. So honestly, stuff like that, because I have so much of it, I'm not really an active buyer. I'm at most a penny a card. And he's like, I was thinking like half a penny a card. I'm like, even better, even better. I'm like, half a penny a card. That's, pretty, I can make that up pretty quickly if I do so. So a penny a card is kind of in bulk is now, if it's a bunch of, before people start flooding my inboxes with, I'll sell you a penny a card. That does not include junk wax. That's not like, there's got to be stars in there. I don't want cherry picked. I've got a couple flat rate boxes. Somebody sent me like completely cherry picked junk. And guess what? I went through a few piles and it's still in the same box it was shipped to me. And it's going to go to my storage unit. And then I'm going to sell it for 1/10 of a penny a card. So that stuff, I don't even buy that stuff. And I try to sell it for like 1/10 of a penny or 1/8 of a penny per card. But stuff where there is stars, where there's stuff that I can actually use, I aim for that penny a card price point. But every bulk lot is different. So that's not the equation. There are no equations today, but that's not really. That's just generally speaking. But when there are buys that may be a little more than a penny a card, that's kind of what I'm talking about today. Going to talk about today. Tracy, good morning. Peter, what's happening? Good morning. JK Cards in the house. What's happening? Philly Joe is here. Good morning. Cooter says, as a low dollar seller, it's the buy side that has more impact on your profit. Absolutely. John says, bumpkin travel stories are great. Uncle Rich is here. Good morning. Dan's in the house. What's happening? Arizona time is in metric. Yes. You have to do math to figure out what time it is in Arizona. JK Cards has a question. What is a good ROI on bulk buys in your opinion? It varies. It's kind of like the topic. It's just, it depends. What do you want a good ROI to be? Because my ROI is going to be different than yours. And in a case like yesterday's buy, typically when I buy bulk, I want to hit break even as fast as possible, like within days. I want to take the cream off the top and say I spend $1,000. I want to hit $1,000 within a week. And then I can build on that and get into profit. Sometimes faster than other times. Sometimes my ROI, sometimes my margin might be 5% on a buy. Sometimes it might be 500%. So every bulk buy is different. So I can't answer that. Now, how fast should you make your money back? Again, that is up to each seller. How fast do you want? Like I am turn and burn. Some people buy bulk and just put it in a storage unit and it might be years before they realize that money from a $200 purchase. The timing of this particular bulk buy is not ideal for my my target of turning and burning. Like, okay, here's the box I'm listing and I want to get back to break even as fast as possible. It's also difficult in the bulk buy like yesterday. There's no $10 cards in here. It's bulk. So it's going to be pulling out Acuñas and Otanis and Trouts and that type of stuff to sell to my buyer. It's going to be pulling out stuff. There are some cards. There's some color and refractors. And who knows? I haven't looked through I looked through some of the like commons, like the heritage. And so I might cherry pick some of that and keep them in the boxes they're in for set builders when I do my storage unit sale this spring. So this is a little different. I'm leaving next week. I've got a whole bunch of other stuff. This is on the back burner. So it might be a month before I even really get into this stuff. Maybe not quite. We'll see. I bought quite a bit of stuff here in the last couple of weeks. So every bulk buy is different, and it's going to be different for everybody. So the way I handle this particular bulk buy is not going to be the way you would handle it or the next person would handle it. My ROI is going to be different than you or the next person. So ultimately, at the end of the day, the answer to all the questions on what is a good bulk buy, they rest within you, each individual seller or buyer in these bulk buys. But I'm going to share my strategies on my bulk buys, and they may not apply to you, but they could. And if you're just don't know, you can use it as a guide, but don't just solely listen to me. If you truly want answers on anything that I talk about, somebody else talks about, get multiple perspectives, because my way is certainly not the best way or the only way by a long shot. So get more opinions, watch other YouTube videos, read forums. And I say that not just to the stuff that I say, but the stuff anybody says on whatever YouTube channel it is, or whatever Twitter feed it is, or whatever Instagram post it is. Don't just listen to one person and, well, I want to replicate Rob at Burbank. I love what Rob does. Like, Rob is like who I would strive to be a tiny percent of in the business that he has built. But there's already stuff like, well, I'm not going to do it the way Rob does it. And that's the way you have to think. Like, you may strive to be this person and run your business like this person, but there's going to be, especially once you start building it up, you're going to realize, well, he does it this way. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way, or I want to do it this person's way, and just take from multiple people. Oh boy, here we go. Hard tickets at spring training, or have they taken that joy away? So no, they basically all of MLB has taken away hard tickets. You can request. I do have some hard tickets, but I had to request them. So you can get hard tickets by request. Normally, I don't care because it's spring training. But I did want. Actually, I wasn't there. I wanted Seiya Suzuki's first home run in a Cubs uniform. And so I ended up, somebody sent me one. I was going to buy it, and they're like, no, it's a spring training ticket. I'm like, okay. So I have Seiya Suzuki's first ever home run in a Cubs uniform from a spring training game. It's not worth anything, but it is to me. It's valuable to me, even though I wasn't there. Or was I there? Maybe I was there and I did not get the hard copy. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. But yes, you can request hard tickets. I know some teams don't. Like, you can ask. Some, I know, at least in regular season games, they will charge like a small fee, like $5 or $10. But at least as of last year, you could get hard copy tickets. I think if you go to actually, now that I think of it, I think if you go to the ticket box, the ticket booth, you get hard tickets. It's not in your phone. At least at Sloan Park. Now, I've only been to a couple other spring training stadiums, and I don't think I went to any other stadiums last year. No, I don't think I did. I don't plan on going to any this year. I'm just hunkered down at Sloan Park the entire 8-day stay, with the exception of my card shop runs on Monday. Selling a collection and then getting back in feels a lot like buying a new car and driving it over to the used car lot to sell. But I mean, to you, yes, but we are all different. There's been times I've sold off my collection multiple times in my lifetime. I have collected Cubs multiple times, and I get back in. And sometimes I get ready to sell, and it's like I can't sell. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't sell it. And now I haven't had that problem because I have so many Cubs, and I'm selling duplicate. I sold a tobacco card. Now, do I have any regret? No, because I have 3 of them. That was a dumb mistake buying multiple T205s of the same card. But we're all different, and we all have different times in our life where it's like cards mean nothing to me. There's been multiple times in my life where it's like I don't do cards anymore, and I sell the cards, and then you get back in. And it wasn't like I drove off the lot. It wasn't like I bought his collection and then the next day he wanted to buy it back, or he had those thoughts. It was over time. And I think it was, I think he saw like a month later, 2 months later, he saw me sell like, it was like his kid's glove, like his son's glove that was like Harmon Killebrew autographed and like Vita Blue from like at a Madison Muskies or Madison Mallards game. And he's like, I was going to buy it back. And I'm like, I wish you would have reached out because I would have given it back to you. Like, because that was like, there was some sentimental stuff. And he's like, nope. He's like, I just wanted to get rid of everything. I didn't care. And we all have different emotions. And it's, to John, he's like, I would never do that. But to the next person, it's like, yeah, I do that every 3 years. And I sell it off and then I get seller's regret. But in that moment, in that mindset, I didn't want it anymore. And I can relate to what he went through because I've gone through it multiple times in my life. And it's like, God, I wish I wouldn't have sold all that stuff. Now, most of the stuff I sold off at various times, I've ended up, buying back, getting back in some capacity, with the exception of the Vern Morgan scrapbook, which I sold his Chicago Cubs contract from like 1955. I sold that to a former coworker. And then the rest of it, like all the scrapbook stuff, like not childhood, but my photos, like at his farmstead and his Selma Cubs uniform, his minor league contracts, various other stuff, ephemera. I sold on eBay, but fortunately it went to a historical museum in his hometown of Richmond, Virginia. So at least it went to like a museum and not just somebody like me collecting historical stuff like that. Where are we at? Brian's here, Offbeat All-Stars in the house. Good morning. John says it's okay to have items sit in your store. It's not costing you anything. It doesn't. But here's the problem. If everything sits in your store, you're not making money. And to you, this isn't your full-time job. So that completely different scenario. To me, I have to pay bills based on what's sitting in my eBay store. And if it's sitting, I'm not able to pay any bills. So, well, yes, it is okay to have some items sit in my store. I can't have all of the items sit in my store because I need to make money so I can pay the bills. So my wife doesn't tell me to go get a job. Just my grandpa always told my uncle, get a goddamn job. And my uncle did to my uncle's credit, he was a great businessman. Unfortunately, his business was selling cocaine in the 80s. But he did have a job. I mean, it's not legal, but it's a job, and he made money. He paid the bills. Cooter says, did Bo just say 28 stickers in 90 days was 3 months? 3 a month. How did you ever get out of high school? 3 a month, right? Oh, wait. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. All right. You are correct. How did I get out of high school? John says your hourly rate was cheaper when you listed the stickers 7 years ago. Bo math. His calculator is set to Arizona time. Coots headed to your favorite Bay Area card store today. There you go. Math, not my forte. That's friends. That is why I love eBay so much, because eBay does all the math for me. Hopefully they're on the up and up and they're not fudging the numbers. All the report, I just click, print, send it to my accountant who's better at math than I am. God. Brian says, want to hang out Saturday night, March 8th. I don't think there are any night games. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I can't. Maybe I can. March 8th is my fantasy draft. So I'll be in Scottsdale, but I think my draft starts at like 1:30. There's a Cubs day game that I'm going to miss. I'm going to tailgate, and then I'm going to Uber to Scottsdale. So I am getting an Uber because I'm going to be in Scottsdale. Where's my? And this might make me do math. So I should be free that evening. Where are you at? Are you in Mesa or are you in somewhere else? League info. Draft. Draft. Oh no, my draft's on Sunday. So yeah, I am totally free on Saturday night. Draft is Sunday, March 9th at 1:30 in Scottsdale. So yes, I am free on Saturday night. Cooter says, sweet, I have one Mother's cookie set I still need if you can look out for it. John says, 2 ADHD guys making plans for a week plus from now. We'll see how that pans out. John says, Kyle does it right. Penny cost of good, always a winner. George says, equation, E equals drunk. Is that squared? Remember, E equals buy. Johnny M, welcome back, George. Johnny M says, good morning. Waiting for Verizon Tech to arrive, upgrading my internet speed from 1G to 2G. Very nice. Hey, who would I, I don't know, well, Brian's here in Madison. I need a service. Who would I even call? I need to get all of my shit hardwired in. Now, here's the problem. Some of my TVs don't have like the plug-in. I guess I can Google it, figure out. So we have issues with like the Wi-Fi because our TVs are connected to the Wi-Fi, and so that creates issues and it drops. So I want to get hardwired in, and I have we have the plugins behind each TV. We're just not using them. But the TVs don't have the what the fuck's it called? What's that thing called? Not good at math, not good at technology. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Ethernet. I think that's it, right? Ethernet. So the TVs don't have that plugin. So I'm going to need like converters, I guess. It's probably cheaper if I just Google it and figure out what I need and go to Best Buy than to call some company to do it for me. John says, why do you need more than a gig of upload? George says, hey, John G. Dragon is one of a kind. Hashtag K-pop 101. It's like picking a Jaguar over a Kia. I don't understand foreign words, George. Holmes says, got a dozen 88 tops Paul Nose. Sell them to you for a penny. Yeah. See, that's not what I'm buying for a penny. Not buying those for a penny. Gem City Card Show says, as I experiment buying the cheap players in large breaks to make a profit, I've been watching cost per card closely. What's the best size underwear? What's underwear? John says, I have 7-year-old listings in my eBay. I'm turn and burn. Well, both things are accurate. Yes. If I have 2,000 of the same item in my eBay store, and I've already made money on that particular, that wasn't a sole buy. I didn't buy those stickers as a sole buy, but I do need to sell. If my entire eBay store was 7-year-old listings, I was selling 28 per 30 day per 90 days, that's a problem. That's what, 10? About 10 a month. And those are already paid for. So they're not mutually exclusive. My goal is turn and burn. Now, does that mean every single listing I have in my eBay store is from the last 2 weeks? Fuck no. I've got 7-year-old listings in my eBay store. But if that was my strategy, I wouldn't be here this morning. I'd be sitting at a desk somewhere because I wouldn't be making any money selling baseball cards on eBay. Mikey is here. I opened another case of Series 1, hit a Skeens Aces card and a Colton Cowser of 10 patch auto. Mikey's got Luck of the Irish. That's some damn good hits. I did not pull any Aces cards out of my case. Twitter says, I assume you have 7-year-old underwear. Oh, without a doubt. Without question, I have 7-year-old underwear. George says, I only speak drunk talk, John. Take a shot of Shine and you'll understand perfectly. John says, Mikey, if you keep hitting Skeens cards, that may tell you they put a lot of Skeens in the product. I feel like Topps is playing around. And what that means is sell yesterday. Sell right now. Because there's going to be even more surface. Although the Aces is, again, I didn't even pull a single Ace card in my case. So they are going to retain value, at least in the short term. George says, my underwear are the same as Rosie O'Donnell underwear. They got D holes in them. At least that's what Dave Chappelle says. John says, Topps knows how to pull you in, and it isn't with Anthony Rendon shimmers. Play a hater's ball. Bargain Boxer is here. To me, how I handle bulk buys is to low ball. Every dollar counts. Steals and deals, baby. Deals and deals. George says, I heard Anthony Rendon is out for another season. Already pulled a tenderloin before the season started. Orlando wants to be like John Keating. Don't we all? Card collecting and selling is artistic. Aim higher, Orlando. Cooter says, the rest of us want to be like Orlando. Amen to that. Amen. Orlando says, you found the Grail collection best find ever. George says, hate, hate, hate. John says, Orlando, finding my way to the bathroom at 3 a.m. without kicking something in the dark is the only goal I have at this point. George says, Bo is buck nasty. Playa haters were dissing Puffy and his dolphin teeth when it wasn't cool. I keep thinking Ernie's bed is a commode. It might be. If I drink some of George's moonshine, I might mistake it for a commode. John says, I sold my pack-pulled Walter Payton rookie 4 years ago. I've had my share of regrets. I've had a few. Playa in dissing, what are we? 15 years old. Yes, we are. Any other questions? We talk about farts and poop. Of course we're 15. Bargain Boxer says, nope, that's it. George says, I got the original P. Diddy album. It came with a lifetime supply of Equate baby oil. Uncle Jack returns. George says, the Offspring told us to get a job. Yeah. Why don't you get a job? Cooter says, I will only sell dupes to fund more PC buys or maybe strippers. There you go. Strippers and blow. Sun City. Ooh, that's way out there. That's way out there. Sun City. That's like on the opposite side of Mesa. Sun City, AZ to Mesa. Holy shit. That's way out there. Call Elon Musk. Get Starlink. Victor, good morning. Coax cable. Is it? I don't think it's coax. I thought it was Ethernet. Is it Ethernet? But I am not the person to know that answer usually. Andy Mack says Wi-Fi is almost always faster than wired in consumer electronics. Do you have a mesh router system? Yeah. So here's the problem. The Wi-Fi drops. It's not the speed. The speed is okay. The speed's fine until it drops. And then, so what happens is, especially down here, it'll drop and I have to turn the damn TV off or I have to reconnect to the Wi-Fi. So it's not about speed. It's about dropping. And yes, I do have a mesh router system. Red Light says, I can hardwire your stuff. I do it as a side job. Update the TVs. That's not the answer I was looking for. Chris, what's going on? One of the categories on Bo Thompson Jeopardy would be, what is that thing called? Yes, accurate. Oh, what is that thing called? Where are we at? I will hardwire my toilet around 6 a.m. Korea time. So I bought not a collection. I bought the bulk buy yesterday. And often we get the question, is this a good buy? And somebody will send me a picture. It's like, I don't know. Like, you just have to go through it. Like, I don't even know I have to like thumb through it. And then I have to do like the mental math. And usually my math is probably off as seen today. And it's like, okay, what's in it? So here's how I handle the bulk buys. And yesterday was a perfect example. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today, because especially when it's fresh on my mind, I know exactly what was going through my head at the time of purchase. So basically like true bulk. In fact, let me get a box. So this is a 3-row box, and there were multiple 3 rows, a couple 4 rows. Okay, so this was like the good. I think this was the good box. So many colors, serial parallel. So there's a 3-row box, and it's. So I'm just gonna pull out. That's what she said. So we got like Mike Clevenger first Bowman Chrome. That's like a quarter card. So a lot of these. So some Zach Collins first Chrome These are refractors. So I can put refractors in lots. What's crazy? I sold a couple 1,000 count lots of refractors. And I took offers of $300 on each of them. And they sold fairly quickly. So I said to myself, I talked to myself, I bet if I do smaller lots, they'll sell even faster. Now I can sell more of them. Not the case. So I put together like 5 refractor lots of 100 cards each, priced them a little, so basically on the 1,000, 30 cents. So I'm like, well, 100, I'll do 50 cents. And they sat, and I just sold a 100 card refractor lot just the other day. Oh, he's a Cubs coach now. Put that aside. So maybe maybe people think there's better value in buying 1,000 at 30 cents each. Oh, Phil Bickford. He's a Cub now too. Phil Bickford. Oh, there's Corey Ray. We've got all the Brewers prospects from 2016. So like here, it's just random, like not, but I mean, when it's a 3-row box of color, number to 150, 99. Oh shit. Here's a gold Corey Ray. Number to 50. He's a manager in the minor leagues for the Cubs now. So just that. So it's not, at least from what I've looked through. But a lot of this stuff, I'm just going to start pulling cards out. A lot of this stuff will likely go in quarter boxes. Now, here's the problem. You don't get that money back fast. So why did I buy it? Oh. I felt there was enough in there, enough stars that I could lot up, enough, Acuna types that I can sell to buyers, because I have buyers that, will buy this player, that player. So I go through and it's like, okay, I need to be as close to a penny per card on this as possible. And I think I ended up paying, I don't know how many. I kind of assumed 1,000 cards in the 3-row boxes, 2,000 in the 4-row boxes, somewhere in there. So maybe 15,000 cards total. And I ended up paying $350. So I paid about 2 cents a card, maybe a little over 2 cents a card. And I feel that's a decent price. A lot of this stuff will go, a bulk of it probably will end up in quarter boxes, and a lot of it will not sell. So that's, that's also something. So that raises your buy-in price from 2 cents to 4 cents, 5 cents. So, and hopefully you can move a lot of it for 25 cents. So this was one of those buys where it's like, I think there's enough in there, and maybe there's a Bowman Chrome refractor in there that somebody takes off, and there's some hidden gems that I can get $5, $10 off of. But this is certainly not one of those buys where it's like, I'm going to go back to that ROI question where my ROI is going to be very minimal on this. And again, let's go back now. Not every buy do I treat like this. If I treated every buy like this, and with all my inventory sitting in my store for 7 years, I'm sitting at a desk somewhere because I'm not making money. So I do treat each bulk buy differently. And, this is the type of bulk buy that, $350, set it aside. I'll be able to move some stuff. There was some like Gunnar Henderson rookies that I can put in my store for a couple bucks. There's probably some refractors in there once I start digging in that, I can put up, and maybe there's some $5 and $10 cards in there. But we'll see. So, every bulk buy is different. And so that's kind of how I approach it. When I go through, it's like, okay, I know any Acuñas I can get 20 cents for from one of my local buyers. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 20 cents a card. If it's football, Mahomes, I get 75 cents. Jeter, I get 50 cents. LeBron is 75 cents. Aaron Rodgers is a quarter. Who else? Aaron Judge is 20 cents. So those I can just stack up. Now, sometimes, like Mahomes, I decided not to sell those for 75 cents because he was coming off going into the Super Bowl. And I'm like, well, I can sell these and, make about $1.50 a card on eBay after fees and shipping. So I put, all my Mahomes in my eBay store. There's other stuff that I know, like this will fly out of my quarter box, or maybe refractors. I'll just put this time I'll put 1,000 count lot, and we'll see if the 1,000 count lot moves. So, and I don't approach them all the same. I don't approach every bulk buy the same. And, each bulk lot is going to be different than the next. And, maybe the next one that comes along is like, well, I just bought a whole bunch of this. I don't need any more of that. And so take it from there. So that's how I approach it. Not necessarily, is it the right way, the wrong way, the best way, the worst way, but it's my way. And, who knows? Maybe it'll pay off and there'll be some great stuff in there. I doubt it. Going in, I know it's going to be decent stuff. I'll be able to make some, maybe some player lots of a few things. I'll be able to put a refractor lot together, fill some quarter boxes, all that good stuff. Where are we at? Andy Mack says probably cheaper to buy new TVs. They are almost free now. I just bought the TV I just bought. It's a freaking year old. And the TV upstairs, they're both a year old. We just bought them last year. Mikey says, I thought I might grade the 2 Skeens cards and then sell them. George has a free TV coming. He's going to grade with SGC. George says, I got a free TV coming tomorrow. Renewed my cable TV contract, and they gave me a 55-inch for free. I told them I offer 3 inches for free. They weren't amused. Corey Ray is a manager already. He's like 19 years old. He done fizzled out. Yeah, he did. So he is young. His first Bowman was in like 2017. This was 2019. He was drafted in 2016. Corey Ray cites Red Lobster as restaurant of his choice. Red Lobster is pretty good. I mean, for a chain. He was born in 94. So what's that make him? So he's 30, right? Is that the right math? 2004? Yeah, he's 30. He'll be 31 in September. So he just turned 30. Yeah, he's already a manager. He's been with the Cubs for like 3 years. When he first came, they're like, that's Corey Ray. And I'm like, Corey Ray? Like, which player? Like, oh, no, he's one of the coaches. I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's injuries or what. Where are we at? Dad Dude from Duryea says, that is the trouble with bulk buys. The cards are of guys that are coaches now. Right. Mikey says, I have a flat butt. Well, why were you looking at my butt? I guess is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. What's better, a flat butt or a bubble butt? I don't know. Rascal says, I just got here and don't know if anyone saw the news of Gene Hackman. Yes, I did see that this morning. His wife and dog found passed away at home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. They're saying no foul play, so hope not. I'm assuming when you read something like that, the first thing I think of is carbon monoxide. So I would put, if I gambled, I would put money on it. It was carbon monoxide poisoning. So yeah, sad to, and he was 95. Gene Hackman was 95 years old. 95 years old. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more items at regular price, and you will save 25% off at checkout. Auctions are ending tonight. 99centcards.com. Tonight ending is all Elite Extra Edition autos. So check those out. There's some decent names in there. All starting bids are 99 cents. So I do combine shipping. Auctions that ended last night, I did send shipping invoices out, combined shipping invoices out. If you're waiting for tonight's auctions, just ignore the invoice, and I'll get you a new invoice sent tonight or tomorrow morning. But if not, those invoices, you should have those invoices. Mikey says, you stuck it right in the middle of the camera. That's why. George says, I got a Corey Ray hovering challenge card. That was a real challenge because he never cracked AAA, I don't think. Now I'm curious. Where did I don't think he did hit. I mean, he's not. He was with the Cubs by age like 27 in their coaching system. Let's see. He was a 5th overall pick. He did. He had a cup of coffee. He played 1 game in Major League Baseball. Corey Ray actually made it to the big leagues. He played in 1 game. He had 2 at-bats, 3 plate appearances. He struck out, walked, and scored a run in his only Major League Baseball appearance, which happened on April 24th, 2021, against the Chicago Cubs. How cool is that? He is from Chicago also. He went to Simeon High School. So Corey Ray did make the big leagues for 1 game. Doesn't that suck? You make it to the big leagues for 1 game. He does have rookie. Now that I think of it, he does have Topps rookie cards. How about that? Gene Hackman's wife was 63. Home run, says George. Home run challenge. Unicorn Cupcake says coach material. There you go. There you go. So, wow, that's crazy. I wonder if he got injured. I wonder if that's why he only played in 1 game. Did he get hurt in the game? So 2021, he must have, because he only played 40 games in 2021. He played 39 games at AAA, 1 game in the big leagues. That's it for the entire 2021 season. Oh, wait, was 2020? Oh, was that? Wait, no, because 2020 was the COVID season. He did make it back in 2022, but he only played in 75 games. That was his 2022 was his last year, split between AA and AAA. So I wonder if he had some injury issues. He must have had some injury issues. All right, now I'm done. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Tomorrow, already Friday, it's the free-for-all. We will play Name that player tomorrow morning. Name that player. We'll see. I've been pretty lazy on getting cards out for name that player. We'll see if I run into that same problem tomorrow morning. I guess I could do it right now. I've got some boxes behind me. It was modern baseball. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.